So now we will be studying quadratic equations. Now quadratic equations are basically a kind of trinomial equations which will be in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That means it has got only one variable but of a degree 2. Now in such equations we can solve them by two methods. The first method over here is the factorization method. Now the factorization method is also called as the splitting method, and the other one over here is the formula method. So basically either by this method or by this method you are going to solve these particular kind of equations. Now before we do this thing, okay, we'll just go through the two methods first. So talking about the two methods, let's take an example for the factorization method. So if we have a equation as x square minus 10x minus 24 is equals to 0. So with respect to the splitting method, what will happen is that we need to split this into two parts such that the sum of the two parts over here, this one and this one, is equals to minus 10x, and the product of these two, this one and this one, is such that it is equals to the multiplication of this and this, which is nothing but minus 24x square. So we need to find out the factors of 10 such that the multiplication of the two factors is 24. Also to consider that the signs are there. So if I take one option is I'll take 6 and 4. So I know that 6 plus 4 is 10. So if I take this as minus 6 and this is minus 4, though definitely the addition is equal to minus 10, but the multiplication will be 24 and not minus 24. So that's why this is wrong. Hence, I will need to take another some kind of factor. So the other factor could be 12 and 2. So here you can see that 12 minus 2. So if this is minus and this is plus, I'll get the addition to be minus 10. So this is the sum and this is the product. The sum is minus 10, but the product is minus 24. So this is the correct option. Hence, this equation will become as x square minus 12x plus 2x minus 24 is equal to 0. Hence, x will be x into x minus 12 plus 2 into x minus 12 is equal to 0. X minus 12, x plus 2 is equal to 0. X minus 12 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. Hence, x is equal to 12 or x is equal to minus 2 is the solution to this particular equation. That means the value of x is 12 or minus 2. That means the equation holds good if I put the value of x as minus 2 as 12 or I put the value as minus 2. Hence the values of x over here are called as the roots of the equation. Okay, x ka values jo hai, they are called as the roots of the equation. Now, so this one we already learned in the 9th standard, the factorization of these kind of trinomials. So exactly the same thing is there, except for the fact that after this point we need to make the value of x, find out the value of x in this particular form as x is equal to 12 and x is equal to minus 2. Now let's see the next method, which is called as the formula method. So in the formula method, the first and foremost thing is that we need to compare the given equation with the standard equation, that is comparing this with ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So what we see over here is that my value of a is equals to 1, value of b is equals to minus 10, and value of c is equals to minus 24. These values have to be placed in the formula x is equals to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Got it? It's x is equals to minus b plus or minus b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Hence, when I put these values, it becomes minus of minus 10 plus or minus root of minus 10 the whole square minus 4 into 1 into minus 24 upon 2 into 1. That means 10 plus or minus root of 100 minus minus plus, so plus 96 upon 2. So it will be 10 plus or minus root of 196 upon 2. We know that 196 is the square of 14. Hence we get over here as is equals to 10 plus or minus 14 upon 2. So this gives you the two answers now, that x is equals to 10 plus 14 upon 2 or x is equals to 10 minus 14 upon 2. So is equals to 24 upon 2 or is equals to minus 4 upon 2. Hence x is equals to 12 or x is equals to minus 2. You can see this was the same answer what we got in the factorization method. So you can use this method especially in those sums wherein the splitting of this value of this thing is either difficult or sometimes it is not possible, especially when the answer what you are going to get over here would be normally in decimal points. If this is a decimal points, or whenever you are going to get some kind of a thing wherein the splitting is almost impossible or we cannot find out so easily, in such cases you can use this method of solving the quadratic equation. Another important thing what you can see over here is this part, b square minus 4ac. You can see that in this particular formula, whatever is in this root plays a very vital role. This is because if this is a positive number, which is something like this, which is a square number, what you get over here is a complete whole number. Right? If it is such that it becomes 0, then what will happen is that I would not have this 14 over here and it will be just 10 upon 2 in both the sides. So you will find that both the roots what we are getting will be equal. And thirdly, if this is a negative number, तो negative number का root हो ही नहीं सकता है. That's the reason the answer or the roots of this thing will be imaginary. Accordingly, what happens is we consider the importance of this b square minus 4ac and we call it as a discriminant. So a discriminant is nothing but the value of b square minus 4ac. Why is it called a discriminant? Because it can determine the roots of the equation as real numbers, imaginary numbers, equal roots or unequal roots. So all these can be done with the help of this b square minus 4ac. Accordingly, the b square minus 4ac के जो values हो सकते हैं वो तीन हो सकते हैं. One is b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It is a positive integer, positive number. If it is a positive number, hence उसका जो square root निकलेगा, that will be some particular value which will be a positive number over there, and उसके बाद जब भी हम लोग वो फॉर्मूला में प्लस और माइनस रूट ऑफ बी स्क्वायर माइनस 4ac इज देयर, इफ आई एम यूजिंग दिस ओवर हियर दैट इज माइनस बी, तो क्या होगा, ये वैल्यू जो भी मुझे मिलेगा उससे मुझे दो वैल्यूज मिलेंगे, एक है माइनस बी प्लस दिस वैल्यू एंड माइनस बी माइनस दिस वैल्यू, हेंस दिस गिव्स मी द रूट्स एज रियल and unequal. The roots what I am going to get by b square minus 4ac greater than 0 will be real and unequal. Secondly is b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then what will happen is that this whole thing becomes 0. So my answer is only minus b upon 2a. Now if it is just minus b upon 2a, उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? There is only one answer to it. Hence the roots will be real and equal. So that means I won't be getting two answers to that questions, but I'll be going to get only one particular answer. That is the roots will be equal. So x is equal to 5, x is equal to 5. ऐसे करके मुझे दोनों में वो same answer आएगा. Finally is b square minus 4ac is less than 0. That means it is a negative number. If it is a negative number, तो as I told you, square root of minus 4 होता है क्या? नहीं, it's not there. So what is happening? It is a imaginary number. So the roots will be imaginary. So the imaginary roots will be there if b square minus 4ac is less than 0. Is it clear? This is the basic things about the quadratic equation. Now what I'll do is that we'll do certain sums from the exercise so that you know that how to solve the exercise. We may be doing some, we'll not do alternate sums as we normally do in the class, but we'll do certain number of sums in between, which I find that maybe it could be helping you out in doing the other sums which are present in the exercise. Okay, so let's start. We'll start with exercise 5a of Concise. Okay, so exercise 5a of Concise, one second. In the first question, they have given some 6 questions. Now out of that we can take, let's take the third one. Find which of the following equations are quadratic. So basically they are asking us whether that particular equation is quadratic nature or not. How do you find it out? If at all the answer what we get is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c, then it is equal to 0, then it is quadratic. If it is not, then not quadratic. Simple. Okay, so let's see the first third sum. We have over here as x minus 4 into 3x plus 1 is equals to 3x minus 1 and x plus 2. So multiplying this thing, we get it as x into 3x plus 1 minus 4 into 3x plus 1 is equals to x into 3x minus 1 and plus 2 3x minus 1. We get a 3x square plus x minus 12x minus 4 is equals to 3x square minus x plus 6x minus 2. 3x square gets cancelled. Here it is minus 11x. Here it is plus, okay, minus 11x minus 4 is equals to plus 5x minus 2. So this gives you as minus 4 plus 2 is equals to 5x plus 11x. That 16x is equals to minus 2. So over here you can see, or 16x you can see over here as taking everything together, that will be better. So minus 11x minus 5x minus 4 plus 2 is equals to 0. So minus 16x minus 2 is equals to 0 is the equation. You can see it is not in the form ax square. This ax square over here is missing over here. Because it is missing over here, that's why it is not a quadratic equation. Understood? So in this way, you know that whether it is in the quadratic equation form or not. Let's take another example just to satisfy this thing. So we have got over here as fifth one, 7x cube minus 2x square plus 10 is equals to 2x minus 5 the whole square. That gives you as 7x cube minus 2x square plus 10 is equals to 4x square minus 5 to the 10, 10, 20, 20x minus plus 25. So this bringing everything on this side, 7x cube minus 2x square minus 4x square minus 20x plus 20x plus 10 minus 25 is equals to 0. So 7x cube minus 6x square plus 20x minus 15 is equals to 0. It is not in the form of ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 because this thing is additional to this thing. So not a quadratic. Did you understand this? Okay. So this was about the first part. Now let's move to the next part of the exercise, that is exercise question number 2. We'll take one of the sum of question number 2. The question is second ले लेते हैं. Is x minus s equals to minus 3 an equation, solution of the equation? So I given you that x is equals to minus 3 and you need to find out whether 2x square minus 7x plus 9 is equals to 0 में ये minus 3 का value applicable है कि नहीं है. That means is x minus 3 a solution to this particular thing or not? So it's a simple thing. You are just going to place this minus 3 in the place of x. So it is 2 into minus 3 the whole square minus 7 into minus 3 plus 9 over here. So this is the LHS over here. That gives me as this is 9, 9 is 18, 18 minus 21 minus 9. So that of course is not equal to 0 but it is 48. So since the LHS is not equal to RHS because RHS was 0, not else, and therefore x equal minus 3 not a solution. Easy. Okay, let's take another example over here. We'll take question number let's take question number 4. Okay, I think I'll take care of this. I'll take question number 4 now. They are given that 2 upon 3 and 1 are the solution to the equations. So they are given you the solution of the equation. So first thing is that x is equals to 2 upon 3 and second thing is x is equals to 1. These are the two solutions they are given for mx square plus nx plus 6 is equals to 0. Right? Now we are just going to place this value. So it will be m into 2 upon 3 the whole square plus n into 2 upon 3 plus 6 is equals to 0. So this will be 4 upon 9m plus 2 upon 3n plus 6 is equals to 0. Accordingly we get over here LCM is equals to 9. So 4m plus this is going to be 6n plus 54 is equals to 9 is equals to 0. 9 goes here, becomes 0. So the final thing will be 4m plus 6n is equals to minus 54 will be my first simultaneous equation. I can always divide it by 2 which gives me 2m plus 3n is equals to minus 27. Same way over here, you get over here as m into 1 square plus n into 1 plus 6 is equals to 0. So m plus n is equals to minus 6 is my second equation. You can multiply this by 2 to get it as, so first equation is over here, this one. So solving the simultaneous equation, 2m plus 3n is equals to minus 27 and 2m plus 2n is equals to minus 12. minus minus plus, so the signs change because of fraction. You get it over here as n is equals to minus 15. So n is equals to minus 15. Now place the value over here. So m plus minus 15 is equals to minus 6. So m is equals to minus 6 plus 15. So m is equals to 9. Okay. So therefore m is equals to 9, n is equals to minus 15 will be the solution to this particular question. Is it clear? So this was the first exercise, quite easy. There was hardly anything to be understood because we are just placing the values of x which are already given in that particular equation. We are not doing anything special over here. We are just placing the values in this particular thing. Moving on to the next exercise. The next exercise is based on the commenting about the roots of the equation. Now, when you comment about the roots of the equation, we are going to use that particular thing of b square minus 4ac. Okay. Okay, I'll better put it in the next video so that the length doesn't become too long.